Well, so after last week's episode with Apothecary Gary coming back, I was like wondering, yeah, are they gonna bring like other season one characters back? And I'm like, oh, yes, they did in this episode and the next one. So let's talk about that. How is everyone doing today, guys? My name is C Codes, and we have so yeah, we got some more Amphibia episodes. This is episode 15A of season 3, or episode 55A of the series, Newts in Tights. Yeah, that title pretty much sums it up, being like basically this is basically Robin Hood Men in Tights, basically. But this was, oh man, this episode's ridiculously fun. So a lot of people, I mean, yeah, so this episode pretty much brings back another season 1 character that after last week's episodes, people were like, oh, they can actually do that. And in this case, they bring back Tritonio, which honestly, just hearing Newts in Tights, and you're like, think back to the boot camp episode in season 1 with Tritonio, it kind of is like, yeah, he could actually be doing something like that. And that's exactly what happens here. It's like Anne and Sprig, they're just out looking for new recruits, and they see a caravan, get ambushed by the exact skit that was done to get the train. Just like, little boy who's injured and needs help, but then all of a sudden the rest of the group comes in and it's like, ah! So at first Anne and Sprig don't recognize that attack, which I guess kind of makes sense, because it happened a while back. But one thing I found intriguing about this episode is Anne has the sword, like Tritonio's family sword, which I don't think she's used it once since that episode. Like, it's like, really? It's like, so for her to have it in this episode was, I mean, it made sense because Tritonio, after like the group ambushes the caravan, they didn't find Anne and Sprig, and then Tritonio, sees is there, and he's like, if it isn't two of my best pupils, how are you? And of course, Anne and Sprig are just like, yeah. It's like, but yeah, they bring up the family sword, which Anne's like, yeah, oh yeah, it's nice, but of course, you're a backstabbing traitor and all that, and it's like, oh, that wounds me. So, of course, with everything going on, it makes sense that Tritonio has formed his little band of, like, this basically the discount or I wouldn't say discount Robin Hood, like parody of Robin Hood. They're just like going around stealing, but they're not stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. They're stealing for themselves to survive. However, Anne sees that there could be something about this that they can use. I mean, after all, as she learns that Tritonio is a really good strategist, and that's something that they need for the rebellion, so they figured, oh, well, you could come with us. And Tritonio's like, why would I do that? And it's like, they make a deal because they hear that there's another caravan coming, and so Anne's like, if you help us with that, if we help you with that, you can join our rebellion. And then Tritonio's like, maybe. And of course they're like, yeah, you're probably not gonna, but maybe persuade you. So pretty much that is the episode, just getting Tritonio to join the resistance. And what I do like about this is we get a little more backstory on him, because I mean, that was the thing in boot camp. It's like, it was like, what is this just how he is? He's just doing this for fun. But it turns out, no, I mean, yeah, when he grew up on the streets in Utopia, so like he learned rather quickly that it's like, everyone for themselves. So it's like, for him, he just learned to use that philosophy. And so in this case, though, now that he has like a group, he has like a band of rebels of his own, it's all of a sudden, it's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be thinking about that. I mean, of course, that is really tested when they try to ambush the caravan, but it turns out the whole thing was a sting operation by the Andrias, like the robots. Like, they take a majority of the crew, but Anne and Sprig are don't get captured because they were fighting off the mind controlled snakes that were with the caravan. And Tritonio was just from a distance, you know, he hit 3 arrows for his bow, and he was able to shoot the locks off from that. So all 3 of them don't get captured, but the rest of the group does. And Tritonio at first is like, okay, I need to leave. It's like he is torn about leaving, but at the same time, it's like that's what he does. You know, he's like everyone for themselves. So of course, Anne snaps him out of it, or tries to snap him out of it by like saying like that for someone who's a thief, he's getting robbed of something very valuable, and that's like loyalty, friendship, family, all of that. And one thing I noticed was when Anne threw the sword, like, so Tritonio is leaving, and of course, like, oh, how do you get their attention? You throw something at him. Anne threw Tritonio's family sword at him, and it hits the tree. I noticed that there was a blue streak behind it, and I'm like, oh, so she calamity'd up and threw it. And I'm like, a part of me was wondering, like, if she did that, should the tree have, like, just sliced in half or something? But I mean, again, it's a nitpick, so it's like, that was just to get his attention. And like, yeah, Anne talks about how, like, if you're such a great thief, then how are you letting this valuable things be stolen from you? And so, and Tritonio definitely has that second change of heart, you know, like going back to actually saving his group, his friends, his family, I guess. And even like when they ask him, like, what about the rules of the street? And Tritonio's like, do you think I follow the rules? Which was, again, kind of funny. But yeah, but what I did find interesting about when it came to the prisoner, or when the group got captured and they were taken to this they were taken to a literal Judge Frobo. Like, it's this gigantic robot that's just there. It has the judge uniform on. Like, it's got the wig, it's got the robe, it's got the mount, it's got the gavel, and it's just like, I find you guilty, and the only punishment for guilty is like, it's literally gonna smash him with the gavel. And Anne and Sprig are able to save them, but then the Judge Frobo transforms, and he sprouts legs, and then he has 2 gavels, and he fuses them into one, and just a gigantic gavel as it starts. It's like, I don't know why, but I was getting Cuphead vibes with that. Just like, I felt like this would have been an interesting Cuphead boss. It's like it's not exactly like the boss, the brothers, the boxing frog brothers in Cuphead. It's not like them, but it felt a little bit like that, because when it turned into the giant rope, like it turned into its colossal form with the giant gavel. It's like, that felt so weird. But yeah, so like the group, they're fighting him off, and it's like, it's another cool fight, and Anne and Sprig, you know, they get a confused moments. But of course, Tritonio has his moment when he shoots an arrow through one of the eyes of the Judge Bot, and the Judge Frobo is just like, oh, I am half blind. It's like, justice is half blind to me. It's just like, I mean, literally, it was just spewing out like ridiculous, like, judge related jokes and stuff like that. So it was fun, it was ridiculous, but that's how it was. But Tritonio, of course, you know, he saves the group, and everything is nice and dandy, and of course they agree to join and the resistance, which is another cool thing. Is now that we have, like, well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, because again, going back to season 1, it's like all these little episodes that were setting up characters, that were building things. Even if it doesn't look like they're ever gonna go back to them, it's like, no, we're coming back. We're coming back to these. It's just gonna take some time, and that's what I love about. That's really what I've been loving about season 3. This part of season 3, like, first part of season 3 was fun. It was fun. It was cool. And yeah, I can understand some people feeling like, shouldn't we be trying to get back to Amphibia? You know, that it's like, yeah, but it's like, you want to develop characters, you want to develop at least the Earth side of it, because it's like, it's Anne's home, it's where she's from, it's where that Andria is starting to invade. It's like, okay, maybe you want to set sometimes up. Of course, But then, of course, you have the others. Now that we're back in Amphibia, we're getting these callbacks. We're getting these, like, foreshadows that you didn't even realize it was foreshadowing until, like, these episodes come out. And you're like, oh my gosh, what the heck? I gotta go back and actually see that foreshadow or something. But here, yeah, no, it's great. It's great to see that. I think the one thing I was really weirded out about this episode was the fact that, you know, the tights. Like, and it's like, wait a minute, why are you guys wearing tights? And it's like, oh, yeah, we look good with these things on. It's like, yeah, Matt Rowley pretty much was like, how do I explain why they're wearing tights? I got it. He's just like, it really was one of those weird moments. Every time they literally flexed on the leg, on the tights was so weird. But, I mean, again, it's a fun little moment just being like, wait, what's with the tights? I mean, you know, Robin Hood men in tights, this is that. But, that wasn't even, like, the big thing of the episode. It's like, they get back to base, and Sasha's like, Hop Pop actually found something, and Hop Pop's like, yeah, you see, I got lost when I was trying to find the bathroom, and I found this. And it's like, it's a room, it has a P on it, and it seems like it can't get, no one can get in. However, they realize there's only one thing that can get, like, there's no doorknob, there's nothing, and the only thing is, like, a slot, and it seems like it's big enough for a book. So they put the Planter family book through the slot, and lo and behold, door opens. And they find a little room, and it's like, I wonder what this is about. They go in, they find a letter, and it's a red letter, and Sprig opens it up, and it's like, there is nothing on this. It's like, we know from last episode whose room this is. It's like, this is Leaf's room. There's some hidden message on that letter, and luckily Sprig takes it with them. Although, I was wondering, like, I mean, it was folded in an envelope. Like, it was literally a letter, like, in an envelope. It's like, they open up the envelope, and they read, and they see the letter. I'm like, maybe you could think, maybe it's invisible ink or something? I mean, it's just, I don't know, like black light or something. But, it's clear that whatever it is, it's gonna be a plot for, it's gotta be something for Andria. I mean, well, yes, it has to be, because, like, again, the only person that Leaf had these secret messages for, at least for outside of, like, outside of, like, the vase in the human world, it was, for Andria. So it's like, luckily Sprig holds on to it. So if I had to take a wild guess, when it comes to it, when Andria's probably going to find that letter and read it, and it's probably going to say something of importance for him. I guess the only thing is, I wonder if Leaf was planning to deliver it to him, but then something happened that caused her to, like, flee, or maybe the Olms told her not to, and that it was like, it would alter, like, it would alter the direction of the prophecy or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, that's where we leave it. That's where it's left off. It's like this whole little side thing, and it's like, it obviously confirms that Leaf is an ancestor of the Planters. I mean, last episode definitely had that hint with her dance, and I mean, it's the same dance that Sprig learned. So it's like, it's insane to think how that's coming back. Just like the fact that the Planters had ties with Andria's, which of course makes you wonder, when the Planters first arrived in Newtopia, if Andria's was just like, that one looks like the Shen's like, yeah, I'm killing that thing. And it's like, because yeah, he was literally willing to kill Sprig, and it's like, is it because he looks like the person? It's like, it probably is the reason. It's like, dang, Andria's, that's messed up. But I mean, oh man. So, no, but like, this episode, it was fun. It was great to see another character from season 1 come back and actually join the Resistance, and of course we get that little setup for what could possibly happen with Andrias and like the Planters, and like knowing like what actually happened in the past with Andrias. But yeah, fun episode, really enjoyed it, and I'm glad we got Tritonio back, even though when I watched that boot camp episode, I didn't remember his name. I just said Inigo Montoya the whole time, so, but, yeah, that's pretty much it for this one, so, from one season one character that we thought would never come back to another. Let's go.